Hey folks, this video is going to be one of my first movie reviews, and that I chose for is Kickboxer, 1989 Jean-Claude Van Damme flick. To me, I think it's a classic, one of his best movies in the world. um, but I don't own the DVD, so what I'm going to try to do is put an image and I believe let's see, there's a few of them. There's Kickboxer, Kickboxer 2, Kickboxer 3, 4, 5, Vengeance, and a new one coming out this year, or maybe already came out, but I'm talking about the Van Damme one, which is the first one, and then 2 through 4, Sasha Mitchell, aka Cody from Step by Step, if you know who that is. Okay, right off the bat, with it being late 80s, good score in my opinion. You got Fight for Love by Stan Bush. You got Streets of Siam, also by Stan Bush. You got Never Surrender. You got Roll with the Punches. And I'm trying to remember what song was playing when he was in the bar and he was kicking all their been a while since I've seen it. But yeah. Basically the story is his brother, Eric, who's played by Dennis Alexio, I think, is a U.S. heavyweight champion, obviously of kickboxing. So I guess he beat everybody in the U.S. So to really say, take over the world championship, he goes to Thailand. Okay, and over in Thailand they have a ruthless champ named Tong Po. So they fight. Well, let's back up. They're getting ready to fight, and Dennis asks Kurt, which is played by Van Damme, hey, go get me some ice, will you? So Van Damme, or Eric, or Kurt, goes to get ice, and he's walking back and he hears banging. So Van Damme's kind of looking and follows the noise and looks in a room. Come to find out, it's Tong Po kicking a pillar. Until Plaster was falling down. That was a quote. Sitting there watching him kick and knee this pillar. Then Tong Po turns around and looks at Kurt. Kurt's looking at Tong Po. And then does this like that. And then elbows the pillar. So Van Damme took it as, I'm going to break your brother. And he goes back to Eric's locker room, gives him the ice, tries to talk him out of fighting. Doesn't go so good because, Eric is the champion, so he has confidence in himself. So naturally he thinks he's gonna win. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Tong Po put a beating on him. Especially the second round with the endless knees to the ribs after a brutal headbutt. Was in the towel. Tong Po looks, kicks the towel, and squats down and just raises his arm and goes down on his back. Then obviously the people at the fight who was kind of running the fight put Eric on a stretcher, brought him outside. Kurt was following, and just left him there. Didn't call. No. Sorry, my phone shut off. Didn't do nothing except leave him right there on the sidewalk. So another guy who saw the fight drove by and they took him to the hospital. Come to find out, his brother's paralyzed for life from the waist down, and he's fortunate to be alive. Well, this angers Kurt, and he's going everywhere to try to learn Muay Thai, or Muay Thai, however you pronounce it. No one takes him because he goes into one Muay Thai school and asks to be taught, and at first they were like, okay, and then he's like, I want to fight him, I want Tong Po. And then they kind of size him up and just laugh. So he walks out. Then the same patron at the fight was parked outside as Van Damme was coming out, and he said, I might know somebody who will train you. And he lives out in the boonies. And this person, Zien, has a very reputable ways of teaching Muay Thai. Because later on in the movie, the fight promoter, Freddie Lee, I think is his name, he says, I need to borrow $1 million. I got an American trying to fight Tong Po, and they laugh, and he's like, but he was trained by Zien, and their faces just dropped. So, in the midst of grueling training, Zien has a aunt or niece, Mai Li. So Van Damme's got a love interest as well as ruthless training. The end of the fight. To throw Kurt off, they kidnap his girl, Mai Li. They kidnap his brother. Held his brother hostage just so Van Damme wouldn't pursue the fight or do well in the fight because they want Tong Po, their champion, to win. So when they get to the venue to fight, which is like ancient, they also change the rules where if Van Damme wants to fight Tong Po, they have to wrap their hands in hemp wrapping, dunk it in like a glue-like substance, and then put their hands into broken glass. So when they get to the venue, the fight promoter pulls Van Damme to the side and says, if you want your brother to live, you gotta let Tong Po punish you all the rounds. Otherwise, we'll kill your brother, pretty much. So in the first few rounds, Tong Po puts a beating on him. But Zien went to go rescue Eric. And they bring him to the fight. And Kurt sees Eric, that he's alright. And then Kurt Sloan kicks his. How it was done was awesome. It was a very good movie. and it's one of my favorites today. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, but if you have not, I definitely recommend it. I think it was right after Bloodsport, to be honest with you. I think Bloodsport was 88, and then Kickboxer was 89. So it's my review. It's not very long. It's going to be kind of chopped up because I think I'm running out of memory space on my camera, so I have to fix that. So it'll all probably be chopped into one. So again, this is what the movie looks like. Yeah, that's about it. As always, thanks for watching. If there's a suggestion of what movie you want me to review, leave it in the comments. If there's any kind of story you want me to prank call, leave it in the comments. I'll make a video. Like I said, I'm doing videos about everything you can think of. This is my very first movie review. So, thanks for watching.